This is chapter 50 in Beyond Exile. It's called Lucky in Milan. And in the previous chapter, 49, was called the Vienna Raid. And in the previous chapter, Carlos the Jackal travels from Milan to Frankfurt to Vienna, Algiers, Tripoli, and Yemen. When he gets to Yemen, he tells us through his journal what has transpired, and that would be the OPEC raid in Vienna. And then after the raid, when he goes to see his boss, Wadi Haddad, in Yemen, he tries to explain that why he did not kill two of the people on the list, and Haddad says, you must go, you can go, and fires him basically. So at this point, Carlos the Jackal does not have a front, and at the end of the chapter we return to where Frank is, and Frank is still in Cologne. He's just been given instructions by Desi that Carlos is in Milan, and that's all Frank knows. He has no idea what's transpired since that time. So this chapter begins, chapter 50. It's called Lucky in Milan, and it opens in the Cologne train station. And we are Frank, and we have our passport, and we are carrying a shaving kit, which is a revolver that Desi gave us. And that was given to us in chapter 47 called The Job. So, at this point, we know a little bit more than Frank knows. We know that when Frank gets to Milan, he might not find Carlos there since he's moved on. But in any event, that's what we have to do as Frank. That's what our mission is. Go to Milan and hopefully discover Carlos the Jackal. So, we're at the train station. We have no direction here. The west arrow takes us to Colonus, and that's where Ulrich used to work, but she's long gone. She disappeared a few chapters ago when Desi came into her apartment. We go north. That takes us to the road, the drive to Commodienstrasse, which would take us back to Heidelberg. And then the road east, the Colmar Dome. And the road south goes to Bonn. And that takes us to the Bonn airport, the Konrad Adenauer Airport, C-159. And here we see that we can look at a flight from the airport. And this is the flight that Desi told us about. She gave us the gun and airfare to Milan. So this is a first-class cabin, and the 90-minute flight to Milan on Germanwings Airlines. So we can look at that. Take the flight, and Frank is flying from Cologne, Germany. And he lands back to Milan again. Scene 108, Milano Malpensa Airport. And Paulo is back this time at the airport. Let's look at Paulo. And he says to Frank, I don't want to think Letizia want to see you soon. Well, that's true. Never mind her. How are things with Rita? Take me to town. I may need a place to stay for a while. How about never mind her about Letizia? No? Right answer. Take me to town. I need a place to stay for a while. To Frank. There is stuff there you have at my place. Tell Letitia I said buonasera, or I've got some catching up to do with an old friend. Well, yeah, that's what we have to do. And when we do that, Polo takes us back to the central Milan district, where we are looking for Carlos the Jackal. First, let's go to Berlitz, because it says he's teaching Russian at the Berlitz Language Center. And of course, we get to the Berlitz Language Center, and there's no sign of Carlos. Alright, it's pretty predictable. We go to the chapel near Santa Maria del Grazie, and there's a gargoyle statue there. Look at the gargoyle statue. When we look at the gargoyle statue, we see the King George penny, which we had long ago. That's the penny we've got from Gardena. Frank's lucky back in Milan. He retrieves his King George penny from a granite gargoyle defending the Golden Madonna high on Duomo. Alright, let's take it. We take our penny back that we had lost earlier. And this reveals a new exit to the west, which takes us into scene 119, the Piazza Corvetto. And in this piazza there is Polo's loft. He finds his missing book of numbers under a box of fashion magazines in Polo's attic. His friend rejoices that Letitia is gone. He invites Frank to stay on while he starts a windsurfing business in Sardinia. So this is the book of numbers from way back that he wrote when he was in Oregon, when he was living with Aaron, and then he wrote the Faces of Pythagoras, the very beginning of the story. So look at the book of numbers. The pages are tattered from years of abuse, but it is still readable. So we take back our book of numbers. And then there are some magazines there. Let's see here. It's hot and muggy, Piazza Corvetto. The night air heavy with the orange flower scent of condoms and syringes. Almost impossible to sleep, awakened by jackhammer workers. A mosquito bite swelling his thumb. And so there's the magazines. And then there is a La Gazzetta dello Sport. Printed on pink paper, the newspaper covers various sports. And then we see there's a mosquito in the room. Let's look at that. An annoying pest. Alright, let's take the mosquito. Oh, let's... Huh. You can't take it. Alright, so there's a mosquito flashing around the apartment, or Apollo's loft. Wait, let's try doing this. Let's take the, we have our book of numbers. We have this magazine. Shaving kit. Let's take the magazine, roll it up, and swat at the mosquito. He's chasing a fat buzzing in the room from corner to corner, with a pink Gazzetta dello Sport when the telephone rings. Alright, well, I got rid of the mosquito. Now that phone's ringing. Scared to answer it. Now let's answer the phone. Pick up the phone. It's Ilich. Ready for La Spezia? What? We're enter the Torneo Magistral. Could get interesting. 5 Yugoslav grandmasters, 3 Russians, a Dane. We're playing in the Duke's parlor. Late 18th century. Wonderful wood inlays. Are you teaching at Berlitz? I'll pick you up in 20 minutes. Have you seen Ulrich? Listen, Frank. My white Mercedes 450 is the new image, introducing the final frames. Oh, and Frank. Yes? Bring your shaving kit. We won't be coming back. So, with that, Ilich has returned to Milan, So that has made Frank's job easier. He was given instructions to kill Ilich. Ilich has returned. But Ilich says, bring your shaving kit, we won't be coming back. So now this is really confusing because we don't know who's chasing who here. And and so with that, we can go looking for Ilich. Let's try the Berlitz training center, which was over just east of the plaza. And there is Ilich. So, Ilich and his Mercedes. He's back. So that made the trail a little easier. He actually returned from Yemen to Milan. And apparently Ilich is no longer working for Wadi Haddad now, so who knows who he's working with. In any event, we have our shaving kit. So, do we try using our shaving kit on Ilich and killing him? Let's just look at Ilich first. And when we look at him, a new chapter begins. Jose Altagracia Ramirez Navas, which is chapter 51 in Beyond Exile. So we're going to pause the game right here. That was lucky in Milan, and Frank was lucky in a couple ways. He got his King George penny back, but he's luckier that Ilich just found him instead of him finding Ilich. We're going to pause the game right here as Frank and Ilich are reunited in Milan. This has been chapter 50 in Beyond Exile. Thank you.